Let's talk about our democracy for a minute. But let's do it in a way that makes the snowflakes' heads explode. Let me be clear before this podcast begins. We are loud, proud, and do not give a fuck. This is the Tony Michaels Podcast. Real and raw political and social commentary. The freedom to oppress the rights of other people is not liberty, you shit-eating moron. The smell of freedom of speech. This is the Tony Michaels Podcast, and this is Tony Michaels. Hey, Tony, fuck 'em.
Deep shit state. It's always projection with them. The deep state, the deep state, the deep state. Oh, Durham and Bill Barr. Donald Trump are the swamp. They are the deep state. Yeah, we knew that. This reporting yesterday of the investigation of Durham to find the corruption in the 2016 Russian collusion to prove that Hillary Clinton was the one who colluded with Russia. It only uncovered crimes that Trump had committed. And of course, in true swampy deep state fashion, Bill Barr covers it up. Now, he's going to be out on his circuit selling his book, and the media is going to let him come over and lie to him on camera and say, no, see, you're misinterpreting the facts. The reason why I did this is because of blah, 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 yakety, schmackety. More lies, more Santos type bullshit. Listen, folks, I've been telling you this for a long time, since we knew about George Santos. He came on this national scene of being the liars of all the liars of the liars. He's not. He's just a Republican. He is just a fucking Republican. They don't give a fuck about the truth. One of the reasons why is because their entire party has been taken over by people with no conscience whatsoever. You think Bill Barr has even just a hint, a drip, a shred of conscience? Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Donald Trump, Durham may have at one time, but he does not anymore. All the people out there are like, oh, well, I respect Durham. Durham's a great prosecutor. I don't care who you are. I don't give a shit if you're on the left or the right. You're respected. You're not anymore. Your opinion doesn't fucking matter. Durham was with Trump. They was with Barr. When you fucking get in bed with these dogs, you get fleas. That's how it is. That's how it's going to be with this party. They do not have any principle anymore. There is no conscience in their party. You look at the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Look to him for some conscience. No, not a shred of it. Maybe at one point, but they had to sell it away. They have to sell it away. Why do you think people like fucking Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Jim Jordan, Paul Gosar, Andy Biggs, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Mitch McConnell, why do you think these fucking scumbags are driving their party? They don't have a conscience. Have you heard the name Mitt Romney lately? No, you haven't. You won't. Now, I'm not advocating for Mitt Romney here. But at least Mitt Romney almost reaches that low bar of a decent human being with a conscience. He's almost there. But that is way too much for the deep state swamp, America First Nazi Party that the Republicans are. And we're not supposed to be pissed? Hell, rewind the clock a little further. Did you know Mitt Romney was their presidential nominee? Mitt Romney was their presidential nominee. His running mate, Paul Ryan, not welcome in politics anymore because he used to have a conscience and he didn't sell it all the way out. I mean, again, I have a caddy for Paul Ryan. But when they can't stand and say out loud that Trump's the greatest president of all time, when they can't say that out loud, they have not reached the level of sellout to the deep state swamp that is the America First Nazi Party. They have not reached that level yet.
That was a good game.
So, Paul Ryan, gone. Mitt Romney, gone. Jesus Christ, they still shit on John McCain's grave. Because the man ultimately had just a shred. He just reached that fucking bar that, man, it's hard for Republicans to reach, but he got there in the decency and conscience level. You remember the moment of John McCain correcting some elderly lady who was deluded by Fox News, thinking that Barack Obama was some sort of scary Muslim, as if Muslims are scary in the first place. As if we can't, in this country, have a Muslim president. Or a president who grew up as a Muslim. What in the fuck is wrong with you people? As if that inherently makes you fucking scary. But he had a scary name, and he had the scary skin color, and a scary religion. And John McCain said, no, he's not a terrorist. He's not. He reached the bar. I mean, it's a low bar, but it's high for fucking them to reach. But he ultimately picked Sarah Palin, who we know was not born with a conscience. I mean, maybe she was, but it would be hard for her to prove that, don't you think? That fucking scumbag. And John McCain picked her. Why do you think Barack Obama became president in the first place? He had a message, he had a national narrative, he was a transformative figure, but ultimately, John McCain sold out his conscience by picking her. And at the time in 2008, part of the country was like, we just need people who reach the bar of decency, right? Like, I'm okay with my politicians being a little corrupt, but goddamn. God damn. And on it went, and further down this fucking trash heap we got.
Well, what the hell's going on?
Which delivered us the technicality win of Donald Trump, which put him in power for 4 fucking years. The ability to destroy our fucking institutions. Our institutions. It's our government. It is fucking ours. It's not big government or small government or scary government or corrupt government. It is us.
Nope.
Do not let them steal that away from us. They do it every motherfucking day. They try to steal away our fucking sovereignty of our government. The government is us. It's the people. God damn it. And they steal it away. And he stole it away for 4 fucking years. And he keeps stealing it away by mind-fucking his cult members.
Back you go.
But they're not going to stop. Like, if you think these people who have no decency, no conscience, they have no humanity built inside and operate on just a simple level of decent humanity. If you think those people are going to stop now, they're just going to be like, you know what? Oh, man, liberal democracy wins. Gosh darn it. No.
Yeah, I don't like what you're doing.
They're hell-bent on destroying the thing that is their enemy. And it's the truth, it's democracy, and it's you, the people. And it's your voice. That is what is their enemy. And that is why Donald Trump directed Bill Barr, and Bill Barr directed Durham to kill your voice, because your voice said in 2016, even if he wins on a technicality, Hillary Clinton still won by 3 million votes. The country wanted her. And they can't have that kind of fucking truth. They can't have that kind of fucking truth. So much so that they're willing to go on a witch hunt and charge people with fraudulent fucking prosecutions.
Thank you.
All the while finding legitimate crimes
Get the fuck out of here.
that the guy who directed the fucking investigation was committing. And in true deep state swampy fashion, these fucking vile pieces of shit make sure to cover that shit up.
Yeah. Take a step back.
And we wonder why so many people are fucking pissed off in this country. Look, we're not fucking divided down the middle. This is bullshit that we're somehow 50-50. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
Thank you.
Half the country is not part of the cult. It's just heavily concentrated in areas. And really, honestly, I've been talking about it for several months, especially after the midterms, the 2022 midterms, it's all about affiliation in the first place. They don't fucking know their head from their ass, let alone what the truth is. In these circles where they don't have opinions, they have beliefs. That's right, I said it. Your opinion on guns isn't an opinion, it's a belief. Your opinion on the LGBTQ community is not an opinion, it's belief. Opinions are based in fact. And you do not get to come to the negotiating table with us, the people, the government, with your beliefs. You have to form some sort of an opinion based on fact. Not just what your feels tell you. Oh man, I get really weirded out and I feel really weird when I know that there's gay people and I'm a snowflake and I can't handle other people's who they love, so I'm gonna say that it's my opinion that they shouldn't have rights. That's not an opinion. That's your belief built inside a delusional, mind-fucked, alternate reality that has no basis in fact. And you, motherfucker, who has a belief, not an opinion, until you form an opinion based on fact, you do not get to negotiate how our society sets policy. Ron DeSantis, you motherfucker. Canceling college prep African American studies in the state of Florida. An elective course for dual credit, for advanced education, for people who want to know the truth, who are seeking the truth through education, which is the purpose of fucking learning and education in the first place. And they can't have that. They gotta cancel it.
Shit.
Cancel culture. Am I pissed off this morning? You goddamn right I'm pissed off. And the country, I'm telling you, the country's gonna be really pissed off. This tape of these fine police officers
That's a good game too.
Who have been charged in the murder of Tyree Nichols in Memphis is going to be released. There's an interview with Don Lemon and the chief of police in Memphis, and she's basically bracing the country that if you thought the George Floyd murder tape where Jarek Chauvin showed no fucking humanity, stripped George Floyd of all of his humanity and killed him, murdered him in front of people and cameras because he knew he could. If that sickens you, wait.
Fuck you.
This is supposed to be a brutal, brutal, brutal video. And it's going to be all over the internet. And you know my view of it. And a lot of people are going to say, don't look at it, don't watch it. And I know the family doesn't want you to watch it. And people are going to be marching in the streets over this. I have a feeling. Ooh, buddy, do I have a feeling. And there's going to be fucking fake-ass agitators out there trying to make protesters who are trying to keep black people and people of color, especially black men in this country, safe from law enforcement murdering them. I don't give a fuck what race, what religion, how long, what community the police officer's from. The entire institution of law enforcement in this country is built. The foundation is white supremacy. And if you don't know that, if you don't know that, then you're part of the cult. You're part of the fucking cult. Are there good cops out there? Few and far between. They got a high bar to reach to get there, for goddamn sure. And the right-wing media is going to use the race of these 5 officers, because all these officers are black men. That, oh, well, see, it's not white people killing, white cops killing young black men. Who gives a fuck who's murdering them and what race they are? They got the fucking badge on. Don't you understand? We've been through this time and time again. You motherfuckers turned Colin Kaepernick's protest into a protest of the flag and the military. When it's exactly this murder of Tyree Nichols that Colin Kaepernick was protesting. Colin Kaepernick wasn't taking a knee against white people. He was taking a knee against the authoritarian law enforcement agencies in this country, the entire institution of law enforcement that is based in the foundation of white supremacy and racist institutions. It doesn't fucking matter what the officer's name is, what their race is, what their background is, the community that they come from. That's the whole point. It's the institution, you dumb motherfuckers, and that's why he was kneeling. No justice, no peace. Jesus Christ, we just had Martin Luther King Day. And on this show, I told you that morning, I was working out, listening to the Birmingham jail letter that Martin Luther King Jr. recorded, reading that letter that he wrote in that jail. And I realized in the moment, listening to him, listening to the words that Dr. Martin Luther King wrote, no justice, no peace, and what it meant. And I realized that my entire life growing up in rural white America, they used MLK, they used Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to sanitize his image, to sanitize his message, because his message was for you white people out there who stand back and stand by because you just don't want to talk about the issue. You may not be racist. You may not, it's just uncomfortable for you to talk about race. Go read that Birmingham jail letter from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's going to be vitally important in the coming days, in the coming weeks.
All right.
As this video, Tyree Nichols being murdered, beaten to death by 5 police officers. Doesn't matter who is behind the badge, folks. The badge is what the representation is. They're murdering black men, young black men.
Check.
We watched it with George Floyd, and we're going to see it again. And you should watch it. I know you don't want to. I know the family probably doesn't want you to see it. There's a lot of people not going to want to watch it.
Worthy.
No justice, no peace. And if you seek peace by not watching what happened to Tyree Nichols, because I haven't seen it, but I'm going to watch every fucking second of it over and over and over again. I will not be peaceful on this video. I will not look away. And the country shouldn't either. And it's going to be hard to watch it. It's not going to be easy. It won't be easy. Not for individuals, not for groups, not for the country. And it's going to sicken you. The commentary that's going to come from the right. That they're going to use to demonize Tyree Nichols. They're going to pause it. They're going to zoom in. They're going to nitpick the video to death of why he deserved to be murdered. They're going to do it. They're going to fucking do it. And they're going to do the whole, well, these are 5 black police officers. It doesn't fucking matter. No justice, no peace. The country should not be peaceful as this video is released. You shouldn't just be comfortable into not watching it. We need to get uncomfortable. And I'm talking about you white people. You need to get fucking uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. And you need to seek that uncomfort. And talk to people of color. Talk to them, but not just talk at them. Listen to them about their experience. Listen to why Tyree Nichols' life fucking mattered.
Oh, crap, we should have done that.
Open your fucking ears. Open your brains. Give Tyree Nichols justice. Not just in the court system, because it's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long, hard battle for these 5 police officers who murdered Tyree Nichols. But give them justice by lending your ear and listening to their experience and Tyree Nichols' experience. There's a video going around of Tyree Nichols skateboarding.
Come on, bro. You doing?
And I'm sure it's heartbreaking for the family that they don't have the ability to gain any more memories of Tyree Nichols on that skateboard. There are families out there today that will suffer the same fate if we just want to be comfortable. If we just, look, we just want to have peace. We don't want to have this conversation. It's a tough conversation to have, to talk about our institutional racism in this country. No, it's not. It is not a difficult conversation, because all you have to do is listen. Just listen. You're just damn lucky that they don't want revenge. They love this country. Listen, people of color in this country are the most patriotic that there are. They love this country. They fight for this fucking country. They serve this country in so many forms and fashions. The military, public service. They get up every fucking morning to their 9-to-5 jobs. In some of their broken communities. And they work their asses off to make something of themselves in this country, to make something for their family in this country. You don't think that's service? to us as a society, well, then you're lost. I don't fear the no peace. But be vigilant, because there will be lies and there will be misinformation out there, and we have to smash it with the truth. And every single moment when this tape is released, we have to smash it with the truth. Just remember, as this tape is released, I'm telling you, go listen and read Dr. King's letter from the Birmingham jail. If you are white and you believe that Black Lives Matter, you believe in equity and equality, and you want to use your white privilege to smash and kill white privilege in this country once and for all, it's going to take a lot of work. It ain't going to happen overnight. Go read that letter from Dr. King. You'll know what no justice, no peace means. Listen to his words. Listen to their words. Listen to their experience. And let's do justice to not just Tyree Nichols, but to the hundreds of people of color murdered by the racist institution of law enforcement in this country. Let's do them justice. Maybe the families will have peace. Everyone stick around. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Mark, 60 seconds. This is the Tony Michaels Podcast.
Are you numb and alone after storming the Capitol? Have you been left out in the cold after stealing Nancy Pelosi's mail? Do you feel exposed to a government that doesn't share your patriotic values? If any of these describe you, then you're in luck. Hi, I'm Paul Gosar, and thanks to my new product, Pardon Blanket, I've got you covered. Pardon Blanket specifically works to make you feel safe and cozy after your involvement on January 6th. And if you're one of the other members of Congress who also helped with the attempted coup, Pardon Blanket will protect you too. Pardon Blanket is made of a sort of soft fleece and a layer of sheep's wool. And they're 100% made in the USA. Don't delay and get your Pardon Blanket today for just $99.99. Actual pardons not guaranteed.
Jumping back into it, this is the Tony Michaels Podcast.
Welcome back to the show. It's come to my attention that the Paul Pelosi tape has been released. I don't know if we'll have time to watch it today or not. I'm trying to get to it. We got the bonehead of the week. It is Friday. Second hour of the show, we will have Bonehead of the Week. So we'll see if we can get to the Paul Pelosi video. Again, I'm not sure if we will get there. And I know people are saying it in the chat that this tape was released. And I've got it. If I got the links and stuff, but I don't know if we'll get to it today or not. We do have Bonehead of the Week. And there's a few things that I do want to get to before that. So we may or may not get to that videotape. There's going to be a lot of videotape being talked about today, I guess. So we'll see if what comes out of the videotape. Someone's asking on Twitch, is this live? Well, now you know. Yeah, it's live. Subscribe. Or like us, follow us, whatever the hell it is. It's free. It's free. And speaking of that, I want to thank everyone who has gone over to Patreon and supported me on Patreon. It's been this is great. I can't believe the support just by mentioning it a few times here on the show. We don't actually get paid by George Soros. It's a joke we make. We don't actually get some sort of fucking liberal George Soros cabal check. It's not a thing that we get. You know, I don't get the Antifa payment that I joke about here. So we are independent media. And this does take time. And it does take away from, I don't know, other money-making ventures. So if you can show support, that's great. And you guys have with Patreon. It's been fantastic. I haven't done Patreon for numerous reasons, but I should have done it months and months ago because more than anything, it just gives you guys the ability to support the show. So if you go to Patreon, there's 4 levels, but there's 3 that are serious. The other one's kind of a joke. But of course, I can't do anything without, you know, kidding around a bit. But here's the thing, is that for $5, your general support, you know, that's wonderful. And a lot of people had done just general support because, you know, the show is free. Like, it's free for you to watch. I don't gate any of the content. I at this point, I don't have plans to gate the show. I want this 2-hour show. I want it to be 3 hours, really. And I want it to be ungated forever. I want you to be able to listen to this show for free for as long as I'm doing it. I don't want you to have to pay to get this show. So the $5 is just for general support. If you come here every day and you're listening and you enjoy the content and you want us to keep doing it, keep producing it, it's just general support. The second level, $10, you actually get a special promo code for the merch store at dTonyMichaels.com, dTonyMichaels.com, the merch store there. So you get and you can also find the Patreon link at dTonyMichaels.com, or you can go to Patreon/dTonyMichaels. The moderators surely have put it in the chat already. But just go to dTonyMichaels.com. You can find the merch store there and the Patreon. But the third level is $20. And you get all the stuff you get in the first level, your general support, you get the promo code for the merch, but you also get a shout out. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this shout out. So I'm trying to figure that out. And I got to figure it out pretty damn quick because I've got a lot of people building up here that I got to do a shout out to. But I do want to give a collective shout out to everyone. I want to thank you, because you are the best audience in the world. Truly, you are. You come here every day. It keeps getting bigger and bigger and wider audience across platforms. We're trying to get to 20,000 on YouTube. So that would be another favor I ask, is come over and subscribe on YouTube, even if you're listening somewhere else, whether you're downloading it on Apple, Spotify, Google, on the audio version, you're watching it on Twitter at Tony Michaels Pod, or if you're watching it on Midas Touch Facebook page or my Facebook page at dTonyMichaels, or you're on Twitch right now. It is live. If you're on Twitch, just come over to the YouTube channel and do me that favor. Just go over, subscribe, and share it. Share it with everyone on every platform. Whatever platform people want to watch it on, share the show. We've got to get the message out. We've got to get the narrative down. We have to do this. It is crucial. That's how we're going to beat the deep shit state swamp. Well, that is Trumpism, the America First Nazi Party. The party who has no conscience at all. At all. They have none. They'll prove it out this weekend. Oh, my God. With this Paul Pelosi tape, and people are saying it's bad. I don't know. I haven't seen that tape yet either, but I'm sure it's horrible. But it's probably worse than you can imagine, this Paul Pelosi tape. And with this fucking QAnon MAGA assassination nut breaking into Nancy Pelosi's house and trying to kill her and Paul Pelosi because he's mind-fucked by Facebook, mind-fucked by the horse paste group on Facebook, or Donald Trump himself. These QAnon nuts. It's a QAnon world. We're just living in it, folks, and it's fucking crazy. We are at the intersection of WrestleMania in real life, as I say. And I'm sure this Paul Pelosi video is going to bring light to that. But they're going to be scumbags. These America First Nazis are going to, oh boy, this tape is only going to spin more conspiracy theories that are going to be obviously fucking bullshit. Obvious fucking bullshit. We watched yesterday the Cheeto Dust QAnoner himself in a 5-minute rant about how he's guilty and projecting his guilt on everyone else. And now we know why he did that yesterday with the 2016 collusion because he knew the news was going to drop that he committed crimes in Italy, and that's the only crimes that Durham could find is crimes he committed. No shit, Sherlock. This is not difficult. It's easier than a dot to dot. A, B, C, D. It's easier than that. It's very easy to see. Oh, boy. It's Friday. Bonehead of the Week. You guys know Bonehead of the Week? I know there's some new audience members here probably who haven't been here with us on Friday. Every single Friday, here's what we do. We have a segment called Bonehead of the Week. We put the poll out the night before, and you vote. You decide for Bonehead of the Week. And then on Friday, me and my co-host, Gabe Sanchez, break it down. Right now, he is working on the graphics. So that's why on Friday, because normally it's the first 30 minutes. I do my little A block. I do my rant. And sometimes I get off on a tangent. Sometimes. Every single time. If you've been here more than once, you know that, I could probably do 3 hours of that. I maybe 2.5. I could just keep railing on these son of a bitches. I get fucking pissed. I get pissed off when I watch what they've done to our government, to our democracy, to our sovereign country, and what they want to do with it. Jesus Christ. They give a battalion of tanks to Ukraine. We make sure that Ukraine has a battalion, 31 tanks, which in the grand scheme of things, is it going to help Ukraine? Absolutely. Do they need them? Fucking for sure. It's going to save probably hundreds, if not thousands, of civilians' lives in Ukraine by smashing up the Russian army. The murderous dictator, Vladimir Putin, it's been almost a year now. He was supposed to win this in like 3 hours. You remember that? He's just going to march in, and Ukraine's going to be like, oh, yeah, you have shit. You're here. We might as well give it up to you. And Vladimir Putin, that murderous fucking dictator, Trump's buddy, the person he colluded with, that John Durham, used the deep shit state swamp to try to project Trump's collusion to Hillary, and it was unsuccessful because it wasn't true. Just not how it happens normally. That motherfucker, almost a year ago, decided to try to steal away the sovereignty of Ukraine's democracy. And he thought they were just going to be like, oh yeah, sure, fuck democracy. We want a dictator. That's what we want, and they didn't.
Look at that. Number 43. 1024. Not fucking bad. That's pretty alright.
Here was Putin's bet, really. He was like, these people think their democracy's corrupt, and democracy's not worth fighting for because it is corrupt. So they'll come over to the dark side. That's what he thought. He thought they'd just lay down. They thought Zelensky would pack his shit and leave. He was like, man, that shit ain't worth fighting for. He figured Zelensky's campaign against the corruption inside of their democracy wasn't real. That he wouldn't fight for the democracy that he promised to uncorrupt in his presidential campaign. He was wrong. He was dead wrong. There's a fucking reason for that, folks. Liberty is a hell of a drug. Even just the thought, the hope of liberty is a hell of a drug. It's a hell of a drug. It bands people together. It gets them to fight united.
Damn it.
That's what it does. There's clips out of Russia that shows what happens to a population when it's under authoritarian rule and they have no control over the authoritarian. People in Russia are fucking besides themselves. They can't believe it's been over a year. They were told, fuck, Ukraine wants to be part of Russia. and the Russian army is getting fucking crushed. The world is standing behind democracy as a collective, as a whole. The liberal democracies of the world are standing behind democracy. Who thought that would happen? Putin didn't count on that. And that's because authoritarians believe, not in an opinion. It's not an opinion based in fact. It's their belief. It's their stupid, delusional, mindfuck belief that liberals are weak and liberal democracy is weak. They're fucking dumb. I've been telling you this for months and months and months, that liberalism is not weak. Liberals aren't fucking weak. Are there liberals that are snowflakes? Sure. Sure there are.
Shit.
Of course. We've got them too. But to act like the foundation of liberalism is weak, you're a dumb motherfucker. Again, you just need to go look up the word in the dictionary, read the definition, read it out loud, maybe read it to yourself in the mirror. I don't know, that might be a good exercise. You know what? Have someone else read you the definition after you have read it quietly, read it out loud, and then read it in the mirror to yourself. Then have someone else read it to you. Then you might get a second opinion of someone else of how they would read it, and maybe they'll read it to you. And then maybe, just maybe, you will understand that the foundation of liberalism is freedom. Maybe you'll understand that if you do that exercise. In understanding what I don't know a word means. And if you still implant the definition of liberal or liberalism, small L motherfuckers, I'm not talking about large L. I am a capital L liberal. I consider myself liberal. I'm proud to be a fucking liberal. I will always be proud to be a fucking liberal. And you should be too. But if you're not, whatever. Sure, that's your liberty to not identify as a liberal. It's just funny that liberal democracy delivers you that right and that freedom to have your belief of what you are and how you identify. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that, to be frank. Whatever the fuck you want to be, or whatever you think you are, or you think you want to be, good for you. You just don't get to press your beliefs and have your beliefs oppress everyone else's rights. It's not a thing, because that's not liberty. And whether you like it or not, the foundation of liberty or liberalism is liberty. And liberal democracy does not put up with authoritarianism. Why do you think the entire liberal world is behind Ukraine? It's because they stood and fought for their liberalism, for their liberty, for their freedom, for their sovereignty against an authoritarian. A murderous fucking a war criminal. He's killing civilians in his quest to not take Ukraine. Because he's not having a lot of success. It's been a year, and he was supposed to have it done in 3 minutes or 3 hours or 3 days, whatever the fuck he said. Whatever his promise was to the Russian people. Whatever it was. Which it's all lies, and it continues to be lies, and frankly, Russia's getting very frustrated. The problem is Russia's not a democracy, see? And when you don't have democracy, you can't get rid of an authoritarian leader. You can't get rid of them. Well, I mean, you can. You know, maybe they eat an ammo sandwich. I don't know. Or something else happens. You know, sometimes there's ways around it. But generally speaking, your authoritarian power and the authoritarian power structure doesn't allow the people of the country, of the sovereign nation, to have their own liberty of what they want and how they want to operate. Doesn't really allow them to do it that way. And it's really hard to convince an authoritarian of anything other than their own self-interest. That's why we as a pro-democracy coalition have to stand behind democracy. And we have to stand and fight with people who believe in democracy, even if we don't agree on every line item of every bill. You do not have to agree on the exact dollar of what the minimum wage should be to stand for democracy. You do not have to agree on what we call healthcare in this country so people don't go broke because of it, because of a medical bill. We do not have to agree on what to call it or how far to go to stand for democracy. We can be a coalition, not just here, but all around the world. But we got a lot of things to fix here at home. A lot. But that doesn't mean that we can't pay attention to the slow erosion of liberal thinking and liberalism around the world. We cannot ignore that. And we must use our messaging and our narrative as the main weapon. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of votes. People are going to have to move to the ballots. That's the active ingredient in democracy. But the messaging and the narrative drives that active ingredient. It engages it. Stirs it up. And that's what we are here to do. That's what I'm here to do every single weekday, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern, 11 Central, 9 Pacific, on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I'll ask you again, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're here right now and you're not subscribed, what the hell? I don't even care if you hate me. Hate my fucking guts. Yeah, that's right. Love to hate me. Those are my favorite. The ones that love to hate me. I mean, they fucking love to hate me. They love it. Come and hate me all you want. Just hit the subscribe button. Hell, go support me on Patreon so you can hate watch all you want. That way I'll never stop. I'll never stop. Would it be something else if I could get hundreds of hate watchers to pay $5 just to make sure that I never shut up so they have the ability to hate watch? That'd be something else, wouldn't it? I think that'd be worth it. Maybe I should say more crazy shit. Oh, see, I don't think the shit I say is that crazy. I really don't. It's not complicated to understand that people want liberty and freedom. They want equity and equality, meaning they want their own. But realizing that every other person has to have it for you to receive it isn't exactly a novel idea. I know it hasn't been around in this country for very long, but it is a good idea. It is a good idea. It's actually the path forward to, good situations where our democracy can deliver as close as we can get to equity and equality for all people in this country. Race, creed, religion, non-religion, background, education, income. Whether you're a migrant or you were born here, we should deliver equity and equality to every single person as much as we can, to almost exact perfection. And the only way to do that is a democracy. That's it. And our constitutional democratic republic is the system that we have. And I believe that even though the two-party system isn't always the best, and it shows its weakness here when one party is not interested in democracy, I think we can still use democracy to smash up fascism, even if it's here in this country and one party is the fascist party. The America First Nazis that they are. I'm going to check in with Gabe Sanchez here. I think we're getting close to the second hour, or 10 minutes to the second hour, which we go to Bonehead of the Week. I got a couple clips I want to show you too before we get to that. We got a lot of news in Bonehead of the Week. Because as we know, it's like, the typical motherfuckers, but it's the ones making the news that are in this. Oh! You know what? While I'm messaging Gabe, I do have one thing that I don't think is going to make it on Bonehead. So give me just a second. Let me see where. Let me see where Gabe Sanchez is at. Or how close we are to Bonehead. Oh, we're getting pretty damn close. Well, looky there. Son of a bitch. We're pretty close. So let me go to this video. Someone pointed it out and said, are we going to mock this video? And I am going to oblige. This is Carrie Lake. Everyone knows who Carrie Lake is. She's a MAGA QAnoner out in Arizona. She's the one who lost bigly the Arizona governor's race. Now, she's on some sort of fucking, I don't know, Trader News Network. I don't know which one it is. Does it matter? Newsmax is really mad that they're not on DirecTV anymore. They don't know how private companies and capitalism works. But Carrie Lake also doesn't understand how fucking elections work, which is not fucking surprising that she doesn't understand how elections work. Oh, Scary Lake, you dumb motherfucker. But this is all lies. This is all gaslighting. This is all a continuation to mindfuck and delude the MAGA Trump supporters that she's banned a small coalition of absolute cult members. And she's been down at Mar-a-Lago ever since she lost. Got her fucking ass kicked by Katie Hobbs. Listen, I actually cannot believe that someone didn't beat Katie Hobbs. She's a Democrat. She may be good at policy or whatever. She may make a great governor. She was a shitty candidate, folks. Katie Hobbs was a shitty fucking candidate. Horrible. Come at me with it. I don't give a fuck. You can debate me all you want about how Katie Hobbs... And I wasn't going to say a goddamn thing at the time. Hails to the no. That is not a narrative that I wanted. And I hope she makes a damn good governor. I really do. I hope she makes a damn good governor so she can make a good case when she runs again, because I know she's going to run for a second term. I'm sure of it. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I know Katie Hobbs suffers from a lot of anxiety, I think. But that's why her candidacy was so stymied. It's because she wasn't able to talk to reporters. She wasn't able to get out in front of cameras. Typically, executives have to do that. It's part of the job. So I hope she figures out how to do that and she does it well. I hope so. Not just for her sake, but for Arizona's sake. Arizona needs to shape up out there. They got some fucking problems inside of their institutions. Jesus Christ, the Republican Party is straight QAnon. I mean straight fucking QAnon out there. And it's likely that Blake Masters, Carrie Lake, and Wendy Rogers, and Fenton, who knows who else is going to run for the Senate seat that will be vacated by Kirsten Sinema, because Democrats aren't going to let that scumbag run as a Democrat or let her win. I'm sure of it. But Carrie Lake here, oh my fucking God, in true QAnon fashion, she just doesn't understand Gabe Sanchez. She has no clue. She just has no clue. She doesn't know how elections work. Welcome to the show, by the way. Yeah, your microphone's not on.
Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. I tapped it. I was on mute. That's
But yeah, so Scary Lake here, she doesn't understand how elections work, which is not...
Oh, you mean Carrie Fake?
Carrie Fake? Or is it Carrie Lake? I think it's fake? Scary Fake. There you go.
Blurry Lake?
Blurry. Okay, well, you know, there's a lot of names you could call this.
Yeah.
But this, in true Santos fashion here, she just outright... I mean, this is fucking crazy. And someone messages to us and is like, hey, are you guys going to goof on this? You goddamn right I will. I mean, Carrie Lake really is so irrelevant, and this is what she's trying to do by do this. But this is sedition, folks. This is full-on... Realize, this is full-on fucking sedition. Carrie Lake signed, when she had her candidacy, she signed something to be a candidate.
Right.
She was supposed to take the oath if she won as governor, and she doesn't even know what that oath says. And this is full-on 100% fucking sedition. There's just no...
Because she said from the very beginning, well, you know, as we led up to the midterm elections, she was asked several times, on Fox News, CNN, other places where they were like, will you accept the results of the election? She goes, I will accept the results of the election and I will be the winner. And it's like, little cocky.
I win,
little bit cocky on that one.
But listen to this. This is wild. She's really getting in the weeds here, and she's really she's desperate to get attention, but the attention that we're going to give her is completely mocker. So it's worth it. Again, the sunlight's the best disinfectant. We have to be the daylight on these motherfuckers to actually disinfect them. So let's do a little bit of cleaning up here with Gary Lake. Let's listen. This is not long at all for her to get crazy.
We cannot have the election stand. The judge should declare me the rightful winner. I am the rightful winner. And we should move on and reclaim our government. Our state government has been hijacked and stolen by a bunch of people who know this election was fraudulent. The cartels are running our state.
Okay, so
the cartels, baby.
She's got to throw a few buzzwords in there. She got to be like, oh, those brown people are the cause
the
of
deep
this.
state is deep with shit, and the shit is the same color as brown, and brown is doing like she goes on some crazy.
Well, yeah, it's
Carrie
the
Lake,
gematria, the QAnon.
Carrie Lake, Scary Lake, Carrie Fake,
whatever,
Blurry Lake, whatever her name is. It's dumbass is really the actual name,
right?
But the idea, here's the thing, it doesn't even matter. Katie Hobbs has been sworn in.
Right.
She's the fucking governor.
What are you going to do about it?
The idea that Carrie Lake's like, well, no, I don't like the results of what the judge said or the decision that the judge said, which, again, the decision was by the judge was like, let me look at what's here. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I don't see any voter fraud. There is no way that you won this election.
Well, yeah, because they can't provide any evidence of voter fraud.
Right, exactly.
Like they're just like their evidence is there's no way I got less votes than her, and they're like, well, actually they counted and you did.
Yeah. Well, that's the same logic that Salman Peña had. Salman Peña, literally, his logic was, I went to every door in my area, and I should have won. Meanwhile, if somebody comes to your door, there are like a couple scenarios. One, the person's like, I don't want to deal with that. They don't answer. They do answer the door, but the problem is when you confront someone and say, hey, I'm so-and-so and I'm running, can I guarantee your vote? And the person's going to tell you what you want to hear to make you leave. So like, can I like count on your vote? And then they say, yeah, sure. Sounds good. And they go, thanks. Great. So by their math, right, which again is very rudimentary math, the idea that they're like, if I ask the person and they tell me what I want to hear, confirmation bias, then of course I'm going to be the winner. And if I go to every door and all of these people say, yes, I will vote for you, face to face they tell me, then I had to have win. And that literally, and I'm not paraphrasing, I'm not joking, he literally said the reason that he won, and he knows that he won, was because he went to all of these different doors, knocked on the doors, and got that person to say, yeah, I will vote for you. And that's just not how it works, people. That is not how it works. Okay?
Right. I mean, I can imagine that some people are like, yeah, sure, I'll vote for you if you get off my front porch.
Right, yeah.
Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to sign anything, yeah, I'll just tell you what you want to hear.
Years ago, I was in the insurance business. It's horrible. And we had to do cold calls. That was horrible. That's brutal. One of the most brutal things I've ever done in my life.
Gross.
But one thing that I did as a youngin', a pup in the business, is I would go door knock. Try to sell people insurance. Trying to get people to vote for you is one thing. Trying to sell them, Jesus Christ. Right. And it's difficult.
Oh, sorry.
But I had a few guns pulled on me. I had a few threats, kicking my ass, or gonna call the police or whatever, get off my property. A lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was, yeah, sure. Just call me next week. I'll call you next week, and we'll set up a time. No.
And you're like, okay, great. See you then.
Right? Yeah. No. Not gonna happen. Wasn't gonna happen. Same way. They're just like, yeah, sure. I'll vote. I'll vote for you if you get off my fucking front porch.
You're like, I'll go out with you.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, I'll go to prom with you if you just come by and ask me later.
Right. Here's my number.
Yeah. Right. Hello. You've
called
the hotline rejection number. It's like that. Where it's just one of those things.
But
where
this is hilarious.
They want to hear.
That she is, and I don't know what the hell is this show? Let's see. It's called Joe Pags.
It says talk radio doesn't
Should we
have
pay
boring.
to be boring.
No,
Joe
it-
Pags.
I mean, I guess it doesn't, but if this is your
just look
your
at
idea
the guy
of
is just
entertainment,
like just got the mic up to the face.
you know
just
what?
All serious.
You know
Yep.
what? You know what? He does provide pretty good content for entertainment. I'm just saying.
It's entertaining
Right. I mean,
to
when
watch an idiot and a complete denialist
right.
just throw any sort of reputation they had to their name and any sort of merit, which I don't even know at this point. But the idea that, I mean, this is the sad truth that these people, this is the reality they live in. They go around, they're yelling at the fucking clouds like Donald Trump saying, Joe Biden, and saying that it's.
Well, we watched the video yesterday. We watched the video yesterday.
Yeah.
And now we know why he did that video. The Durham story was
exactly.
going to drop. He knew it was going to drop. I said yesterday when we were watching, I'm like, look, he's trying to get what he wants people to say in the threads on Twitter.
Yep.
What he wants his supporters to say about the fucking truth that's going to come out. He wants you to know what lies to tell.
Yep.
And in true fashion, yesterday afternoon, we find out that's going to come out. He wants you to know what lies to tell.
Yep.
And in true fashion, yesterday afternoon, we find out this fucking